Hey everyone, and welcome. So you've probably gotten pretty used to AI that can chat, right? But what if it could actually do things? Today, we're diving into a really massive leap forward, building AI that doesn't just talk, but takes action, solves complex problems, and, actually works on its own. Let's get into how it's done.
Really think about it. What if AI could be your personal researcher, a project manager that keeps everything on track, or even a whole team of specialized assistants all working together? We're not just talking about a simple question and answer anymore. We're talking about AI agents that can plan, reason, and get things done.
All right, so here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with the big picture of where AI is headed, then introduce this new framework from Microsoft. We'll break down its two key parts, the agent and the workflow, see how they work together in a real example, and then wrap up with what this all means for the future of building AI.
So the first big idea we got to wrap our heads around is this huge shift in what we expect from AI. We are moving way beyond that simple back-and-forth model. The next generation of AI apps, they're not just going to answer your questions. They're going to be active partners, tackling fuzzy goals that take multiple steps, different tools, and maybe even a little trial and error to figure out.
And of course, to build these kinds of really sophisticated applications, you're going to need a whole new kind of toolkit, and that is exactly where this comes in. Microsoft has just rolled out a new open-source framework designed specifically for this next wave of AI. So what is it exactly? Well, at its heart, the Microsoft Agent Framework is a dev kit. It gives developers, especially those using popular languages like .NET and Python, the actual building blocks they need to create not just single AI agents, but entire systems of agents that can work together as a team. Now, what's really cool here is where this thing comes from. This isn't just some brand new tool that popped up out of nowhere. You can think of it as the direct evolution of two other major projects you might have heard of, Semantic Kernel and AutoGen. This new framework basically takes the best ideas from both, unifying them into something way more powerful.
Okay, so let's break down the first of the two main components. I want you to think of an agent as your specialized worker. It's like a single craftsman, an individual unit of AI that's designed to do a specific kind of job. It's really the fundamental building block for this entire system.
So under the hood, an AI agent is this self-contained piece of code that uses a large language model. Yep, the same kind of AI brain that powers tools like ChatGPT. But it doesn't just talk. It takes in a request, it thinks, and it decides if it needs to use an external tool, like, say, searching the web or running a piece of code, before it actually does something and gives you a response.
The real magic of how an agent works is this thing called the agentic loop. It's not a one-shot deal. It's this continuous cycle where the agent thinks, it acts, it looks at the result of its action, and then it thinks again, over and over until the job is actually finished.
Let's just walk through this loop because it's basically the agent's thought process. It all kicks off when the agent gets a message from you. Its LLM brain chews on that request and decides what to do next. If it needs to, say, look up some data, it executes that tool. It then checks the result, rethinks its plan, and keeps going through that think-act cycle until it's finally done and can give you a final answer.
So when would you actually use a single agent? Well, they're fantastic at dynamic, kind of messy tasks. Think about a customer support bot that has to go look up your order info, or a personal tutor that can pull in knowledge from all over, or even a research assistant that can search and summarize a pile of documents for you.
But, and this is super important, here's a brilliant piece of advice straight from the documentation. Agents are powerful, for sure, but they are not the right tool for every job. If a task is really structured and predictable, just write a simple function. It's going to be more reliable and way cheaper. So the key is you use agents for tasks that need that flexibility and reasoning, not for simple, repeatable stuff.
Okay, so if a single agent is our specialized worker, what happens when you have a problem that's too big for just one? Well, that's where our second core component comes in, the workflow. This is how you coordinate a whole team of agents to tackle much bigger, more complex challenges.
I want you to think of a workflow as the conductor of an orchestra. It's basically a blueprint that tells each individual agent and function exactly when to act and what to do. This gives you total, explicit control, turning what could be chaos into a perfectly executed and reliable process.
And this is really where those professional, enterprise-grade features start to shine. Workflows let you build things in a modular way. You can checkpoint long-running tasks so they can survive a crash, and, this is a big one, they support human-in-the-loop situations where the whole process can pause and ask for a person's approval before moving on.
So to put it all together real simple,
An agent is your solo specialist, making decisions on the fly, perfect for those unpredictable tasks. A workflow, that's your coordinated team. It follows a predefined plan and gives you total control, making it perfect for those complex, multi-step processes where you absolutely need things to be reliable. All right, theory's great, but let's see how this thing actually works in practice. We're going to look at a classic pattern called fan-out/fan-in, where one job gets split into a bunch of smaller jobs that run at the same time, and then all the results get combined at the end.
Okay, here's how it goes. First, a user asks a question, and a main agent comes up with an answer. Then, the workflow fans out. It sends that same answer to two separate agents at the exact same time. One's a French translator, the other's a Spanish translator. They work in parallel at the same time. Once they're both done, the workflow fans in, collecting their translations and packaging everything up into one neat response.
And what's so brilliant is that this isn't happening in some black box. This right here is a view of the Durable Task Scheduler dashboard. It's a tool that gives you a crystal clear log of the entire process. You can see the original prompt, you can see the main agent's response, and you can see the handoffs to the other agents. It's an incredibly powerful way to actually watch and debug these complex interactions. So you see, this is way more than just a cool demo. Being able to build, coordinate, and monitor agents like this, it just opens up a whole new world for developers. It's about creating applications that aren't just intelligent, but are also seriously robust and reliable.
You know, the durable part of this framework is what really makes it ready for prime time. It gives us 4 game-changing features that take these agents from being cool experiments to actual production-ready tools. Let's quickly break these down, because each one is a huge deal. First up, conversations are stateful, which means the agent just automatically remembers your entire chat history. No extra work needed. Second, it's serverless. This is awesome because it scales up when you need it and scales down to 0 when you don't, which can save you a ton of money. Third, you get built-in HTTP endpoints. For developers, that means you can connect your agent to other apps without writing a bunch of boilerplate API code. And finally, the state management is durable. This means that even if the whole system crashes, your conversation can be recovered. It just works. So here's the bottom line. The Microsoft Agent Framework isn't just about making AI do more clever tricks. It's about providing the professional-grade plumbing we need to build intelligent applications that are also autonomous, scalable, and trustworthy enough to use in the real world.
Honestly, what we've looked at today is just the beginning. This framework gives us the fundamental building blocks to create incredibly sophisticated systems. And that leaves us with one final, really exciting question. Now that you can build and coordinate entire teams of AI agents, what are the truly complex problems that you are going to solve?